Welcome along to another episode of Scottish Football Matters with myself, Murray, and my good friend Lorenzo.
Yeah.
This week we're going to review the Scottish Cup fifth round matches, the ones that did go ahead. We'll have a little reaction to the quarter-final draw, and we'll do preview and predictions for a full midweek card in the SPL. So, yep. So, how's things?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Cool.
Half decent weekend. And obviously looking forward to the game on Wednesday night.
Yep, I think best place to start is obviously Friday night's game, St Mirren Airdrie. And I think this is a common theme. I think a lot of the sides who were underdogs really performed well and kept it really close. I mean, I think Airdrie fully merited going to extra time, but St Mirren did enough to get through.
Yep.
And that's all you need to do in cup games. I mean, whether you win 1-0 or 8-0, it makes no difference.
Doesn't matter how well you play.
Exactly, and but yeah, I think St Mirren, that boy Devaney showed up well again. I thought he was good against Hearts, and obviously I know he scores, so but it was his all-round game I was impressed with. And I know people say, "Oh, it's only Airdrie," but I don't think it matters who you're playing against. You can tell when a player's a player. Do you know what I mean? You can tell when somebody's got skill and good vision. But I think good result for St Mirren, and if they could only take their cup form into the league, I think they'd be in a far better place. I know they beat Hearts, but it's been a very up and down season for St Mirren.
They've not been consistent enough.
But when you look at them in the cup, they're very consistent. You know, they find a way. But yeah, good result for St Mirren. But I don't think there was any major talking points in the match other than well done to Airdrie for taking it to extra time. The first one on the Saturday, Dunfermline Kelty. The one talking point in this was, I don't know if you've seen it, the Kane's first goal. That was it in? Was it not in? I've got to say, I didn't think it crossed the line, but then I seen an angle later where it looks like it maybe did.
It does look as if it crossed the line, but
I can understand why it wasn't given, because it's really close. I mean, it's one of those ones. I remember there was one in the World Cup where a ball went out for a corner, and then everyone thought it was a corner, but the whole ball wasn't over the line, but it looked over the line type thing. And I think that was maybe one of them, because you're looking at
the one with Japan. That was the one with Japan, wasn't it?
Aye, because you looked at it from an angle and you went, because even the
whole ball,
I thought, that looks over the line,
like that much or something hadn't even over the line.
I do wonder if you've seen it across the goal line, whether it was over the line. But
it looked like 99% of the ball was over the line, but 1% wasn't.
Fair play to Chris Kane, because he didn't let it get to him, because he still popped up with 2 goals after that. And I didn't even know he'd went to Dunfermline, but that's a good move for him. And I think he's a seasoned pro, isn't he? I mean, I remember him back in the day at St Johnstone. He was always decent, and I think, good signing for Dunfermline. And if they want to make the playoffs, I think he'll be a big player for them. But yeah, good result for Dunfermline, because when you're favourites, I think it's easy for Dunfermline to play somebody like Hibs where there's no pressure. But when you're at home to Kelty, there was pressure. And as Lennon said after the game, he doesn't care how they played. They're through.
As I said, cup football doesn't matter how you play. It's all about the result, getting through to the next round.
And Partick was probably quite similar to that, and I don't think they were great, but they did enough. And I think fair play to Elgin, they really battled well. And the boy Sargent that got the 2 goals, his second header was particularly good, like, because he's moving away from goal, and the sort of you could question the keeper's positioning maybe, but I thought it was a right good header, and Elgin really did well. And fair play to Partick, because again, you just need to get through. And now they've obviously we'll get onto the draw, but they've set up a tie with St Mirren that they won't feel as if they're not out of that.
Well, they'll not fear. They'll not fear.
There's a realistic chance of Hampden for both sides. Saturday night game was obviously Celtic. I'll let you talk a bit more about it, but my take on it was that first half I thought was pretty even. I thought Dundee were quite good on the ball, but didn't do much with it. If you get what I mean, they were tidy enough, and I thought Celtic were good up until that kind of final pass, final cross. So I thought 0-0 was fair enough for the first half. Then Ethan Hamilton scores an absolute worldie, which you've got
That's
to say is
good goal.
the goal of the round, and it's a belter. I mean,
That could be a
it's
goal,
one
aye.
of those ones that you just go, aye, maybe McGregor could do better when he gets chopped inside, but that finish is just
Even
unstoppable.
even Schmeichel in goals probably wouldn't have saved that either.
I
So
reckon
it was
if
a
Michael and
that goal.
Sinisterra in goals, they wouldn't have stopped it.
Yeah.
But
Mm.
then Dundee, to be fair to them, they didn't give up. They still tried to do what got them the lead. But I thought Celtic really came onto a game about 60 minutes. I
Mm.
thought they were, again, though, that the final ball was terrible at times. And it just didn't, it kind of looked like one of those nights that it just wasn't going to happen. But Martin O'Neill, his teams, they go to the final whistle and, you
Aye.
know, it was
Yep.
literally the last attack of the game. But you have to say,
Nice
Tanecki
wee
does well
flick.
to beat his man. And
Mm-hmm.
the boy Adamu scores in the only real position he can do, because if
Aye.
he takes a touch and tries to turn, it's probably going to get blocked.
Mm-hmm.
He has to sort of I mean, it's cheeky and it's
It was quick
probably the
thinking.
only way of scoring.
Quick thinking as well.
First time
And
anyway.
also
But
as well, if you've noticed, if Arroyo touches that, it's offside. He doesn't touch it.
yeah,
But
yeah,
if
he
he
was
touches
close
it,
to touching it.
that goal
Yeah,
doesn't count.
and it'd
Aye.
have been they're just blowing the whistle, I
I
suppose,
know,
after that, because
I
it
know.
was
Aye.
literally the last attack. But you always knew that extra time Celtic were going to come on stronger, and Dundee looked dead on their feet, but
The, anno-
they did
the annoying
rally, I
thing
think,
was
in
the
the
annoying
last
thing
minute
was
or
we
two.
the annoying thing was we scored the goal early in the second half, the first half extra time, and
Mhm.
I'm like, see if we could have just done that in the tail end of the first half, got
Uh,
the two goals, and we wouldn't have had the extra time,
I
Because
know, but I think,
extra time can tire you, in terms of for
yeah,
the
but
next game. For the
I
next
think
game.
Dundee fully deserved extra time. I
Oh
think if
well,
they'd lost that game in 90 minutes, it'd have been an injustice. I think they
but
deserved
speaking
to go to extra time and at minimum. Um, but I think
speaking about the whole
Dundee are
sorry,
good.
aye, but speaking about the whole ball being over the line, what did you make of that? The biggie cross, the Arroyo cross that he's put his flag up for. That wasn't over the line. That ball wasn't anywhere near it.
Yeah, I mean
It
these.
wasn't.
I think there's been lots of these ones. I don't think it was, but I also thought Celtic could have got a penalty in the first half. I thought
For me, I thought
there
that
was
was
a
a penalty. I
there
watched
was
it
a
again just before
case.
we came on.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where I
His
do
2 feet,
think
Siobhan Shara's 2 feet are in the box. 2 feet
I
are
know, but
planted in the box.
I think the only thing that saves the boy, right, is that the push is on, weirdly, his back, which somehow isn't in the box. If you get what I mean, it was a weird sort of, his
But
body position, because he was
if
going
his
like
feet are
that.
in the box, though, it should count if his feet are in the
Yeah,
box.
and I know all about that because I remember when
It's a stupid
Vaclav
rule.
Cherny in that cup
Um,
final.
It's a
It
stupid
was a
rule.
definite, penalty, and it didn't get given because, as they said that day, more out than in. But if your
Mm-hmm.
feet are in the box, then you're in the box. And
That's right.
I just think it's one of those ones that, do you know, you can't even blame VAR. You've just got to blame the people operating these things,
Yeah, and I've
because
also seen
they're not good enough at their job, and that's the
I've seen
fact.
on the internet as well footage of obviously the Tierney incident with to
Yeah,
the face, but I've also seen it
yeah,
compared to the Yang incident. Yang gets a red card for the one against Hearts, and the other boy
I
doesn't
think it,
at the weekend.
I think
I
it's
think it's a red
different
card,
because Yang's feet are really high, as in, I know anything has to be high to do
but
hit
it's
a head
still
right.
dangerous.
It's dangerous. Yeah, I agree, it's dangerous, but I don't think that Congreve's tried to do him, and he hasn't went for a ball at an unnecessary height. Tierney's got to the ball first, and it's a follow through. I think it's unlucky, and I think it's a yellow card, and that for me is enough on that one for me, because I don't
But
think he's tried to hurt him.
you could see that being given as a red card
You could.
in
I
another
wouldn't like
another
it.
time.
Aye,
No,
I
but
wouldn't
that's
like it,
how
and I wouldn't like it
inconsistent
if
it
it.
is.
Aye, no, it's just one of those ones where I felt that he really didn't lift his foot that high. It was a bit of high feet and low head
Mm-hmm.
because of uh, Tierney sort of heads it, but then his head goes down as he's doing it,
Aye.
and his foot goes up, and it's an accidental collision. And obviously, I hope Tierney's fine and there isn't any lasting issues. But I don't think Congreve's meant it, and I think it's one of those ones that I do think a yellow, but I could completely understand if a red was given,
Mm-hmm.
because, as you said, it does endanger the safety. But
Oh, of course. Aye.
I just don't, I don't think there's any real intent, and the ball was there to be won. He just wasn't quick enough, as it happens. But I do think that That aside, as I said, I thought Dundee were excellent and probably, you know, were unlucky. That's all I'd say. They were unlucky in the game, but you need to take
Aye,
your chances because they did have other chances. Not many, I'll be
they
honest,
did,
but
but that one
I
at
would say
the end,
chances for chances. Aye,
that one at
the
the
bit of
end
pinball.
with Hamilton at the end. I mean,
Yeah.
I thought that was going in, and then he just
He looks a
squeezed
player
it
though.
wide.
I think he's a
Aye.
player that in the centre back. Every time I see him, is it Graham?
Hmm.
Every time I see him, he looks better and better. And I think I look at like Celtic centre backs and some Rangers centre backs, and he looks like he's there already.
Is the boy
Like,
Hamilton Scottish or English?
well, I
I
remember
know
he
he's
came through Man
came from
United.
Man United.
Yeah, I think I think I don't know. I'd need to look in that one, but I don't know. He might be a bit of both, but we'll figure that. On to yesterday. The game I watched last night, obviously Falkirk. Again, a bit like Airdrie, Stenhousemuir deserve a lot of credit. They
Extra
battled well,
time.
they defended well, but you knew as soon as it went to extra time that the legs were done.
Oh, of
They were
course, because Falkirk are
absolutely
the
done.
Stenhousemuir are a
I know,
part-time team, aren't they? They aren't.
yeah. But I have to say the winning goal. I know the second one was a good header, but the winning goal was a good finish by Spencer. I thought it was a right good effort.
Aye.
And I think see if Falkirk had done more of that in normal time,
Hmm.
because they were just very tippy tappy. But sometimes you just need to have a dig, and
That's right. Just have a
it
go.
might work for you. But I think Falkirk are a team that will come onto the draw. But I think Falkirk are a team that should be looking, especially with the draw, to go to the final. I think Falkirk should be aiming for that.
Hmm.
But obviously, we'll just finish off on Rangers. It was last year that goalkeeper had an absolute worldie, and I would say I think it's the best performance by a lower league goalkeeper I've seen at Ibrox, and he followed it up by probably the worst performance of a lower league keeper. But I
Hmm.
think that shows you when you are playing teams of that level, it shows you that sometimes it's your day and sometimes it isn't.
That
And
can happen.
yesterday
That's what
wasn't.
happens.
And the keeper,
Hmm.
I mean, he flapped at Tavernier's corner that went in. His positioning for a couple of them was suspect. And obviously, once the goals start going in, you kind of feel bad for him because he's not a top end keeper who is used to losing goal
And
after
it was
goal after.
five not at half time, was it?
Five at half time, yeah. But I
Five at
think
half time.
one thing I like from Rangers is I don't think Rangers have been ruthless enough at times, but at least they showed a bit of ruthlessness.
I know what you're going to say when I say this, but at the end of it, I know that Queens Park beat them last year, but come on, it's Queens Park.
I know, but it was just Kilmarnock as well, and it was 10 men. But you need to take your chance. I mean, you played Auchinleck Talbot, and were
I
lucky to
know,
score two goals.
I know that.
Whereas
I know.
Rangers probably could have got double figures yesterday. So I think it's the manner in which you do take care of these teams. And let's be honest, Rangers played Annan in the round before, who are a league. Well, in fact, are they two leagues below? I
I
think
think if we
I
were to
can't
play
remember.
it,
I
we
think they're
played
League
Auckland
Two,
like
right?
Talbot. Aye.
And we played Annan at Ibrox, and let's be honest, we didn't look great against Annan. I mean, five
No,
probably flattered us, whereas yesterday 8 didn't flatter us. Is what I'm saying. It was it
probably
was
could have been
really
double
measured
figures.
and controlled. And what I'd like to say is, by the way, Rangers have had opportunities to do that quite a lot of times, and they
Hmm.
don't do it. And what I'd say is, I just hope that that's a sign of things to come. Is that Rangers will become a more ruthless team, because I don't think Rangers have been ruthless since Gerrard, if I'm totally honest. I don't think we've had a nasty streak in us since then as well, and I'm hoping that you're going to start to see that you need to play the game better. Rangers are too soft. I've said that for years. Although they're the second best kind of team in the league, I think they're the softest team. I really do. I think they're weak. They don't fight when the chips are down. There's not a lot of battle there. And I think that's one thing that Danny Rule needs to obviously keep working on, and the
Hmm.
mentality thing. But all you can do is, like I said, it doesn't matter whether it's 1-0 or 8-0. It's you're in the hat, and obviously,
Uh-huh.
as we said, in the hat, the draw. Um, we'll leave the big one to last, but we'll kind of just quickly go through them. St Mirren against Partick. I think with being at the Smythe Stadium, I'd favour the Premiership team.
Aye.
Again, see if it was reversed, I would
Mm-hmm.
maybe give Partick more of a chance, but I think I would
I
have
wouldn't
to
rule them out though.
favour. No, I wouldn't rule them out, no. But I'd have to favour St Mirren to go through that one.
Oh, of course, aye. I think Mirren probably will edge it, but it'll
Yep.
I think it'll 2-1. I would say 2-1
Yep.
because I think
You've got
Partick will score.
Falkirk against Dundee United or Spartans. Now, I think Dundee United will get past Spartans, even
They
if
should.
they're Jekyll
When
or
is
Hyde.
when is that game getting scheduled for?
I think it's a week on Wednesday
Right.
because they've got the league fixtures this week.
This
But
week.
then, who knows?
Mm.
I'd fancy Falkirk to get through that tie against Dundee United. I think they look better.
Falkirk
And
to
with
get
the
through it.
home advantage, I think they look a better team than Dundee United. Put it this
Mm.
way: if you were asking me what team are guaranteed to play 6 or 7 out of 10, I'd say Falkirk,
Probably Falkirk.
and
Falkirk
that
always
might be
play
enough.
well. And Dundee
Uh,
United don't always play well.
this one's a tricky one for me because the Vermont having home advantage, I think, is a great thing, and
Mm-hmm.
I think it really matters who they get. I think if they get Aberdeen, I give them a 50-50, right?
Right.
If they get Motherwell, I give them about a 20% chance, just because
But you must
Motherwell are
remember,
just.
Aberdeen could have a new manager, but then they get that new manager
They
bounce.
could,
You never
they
know.
could, but I still think Aberdeen just look a bit weak. Um,
Aye, the minute.
and I think in the same way as I think Hibs can be weak, and I
Mm-hmm.
think Dunfermline really took advantage of that last time, looking for set pieces and
Yeah.
really battled. So I don't think Dunfermline are out by any stretch of imagination, but I think it matters who they get. I think it'll give them a better chance of progressing. But I'd love to
Probably
see
they probably would have a better
Dunfermline or
chance of beating
Partick.
Aberdeen.
I'd love to see Dunfermline or Partick go to Hampden because, you know, it'd be good, wouldn't it? I mean, let's be honest. I
Uh,
mean, one of the big two are going out because, as we know,
I
that's the
know.
fourth and final draw. But
Mm-hmm.
getting on that, I think I was happy with it because it's at home. I wouldn't have been happy if it'd been away because you don't want to play the best team you can get, but you don't mind it if you get them at home. Do you get what I mean? I'm
But
sure
the
you
fact
would
that
have
it's
felt the same,
aye,
but
pretty
it's
sure. I'm pretty sure you have to give us more tickets though because it's a cup game.
yeah, and I hope they do. I'd be happy
Because
for Celtic.
I
I'd be
wouldn't like
happy
to
for
think.
Celtic to get that whole stand because
Aye,
I
the
don't
stand that
like
we
it.
usually used to get.
Yep, I've already made my feelings clear on this. It's very difficult to go back to the way it was with league games because people have bought season tickets in that
I know I
area
get that, but I still
expecting games.
think it
No,
should
but
go
no,
back.
aye, but it can't just go back because then you're needing to reimburse a lot of people who deserve tickets.
I think
But
eventually it might go back to it. It might.
I think a cup competition is a completely different thing, and I think that should always be like as they said an 80 to 20 split at
Aye.
home.
If it was at
I think
Hampden,
you
it'd be
should get
50-50, obviously, but it's
yeah,
not
of
Hampden.
course. But what I would say is I'm happy with it, but at the same time, it just adds to a very fun and frantic fixture list. I mean, I don't know
Will
if you've
do.
noticed Celtic's next 8 games. I'll run them through
Aye.
you quickly, right?
Hmm.
You've got
I know I've got about
home
four in
to
a row away.
home to Livingston,
Uh-huh.
away to Kilmarnock, home to Stuttgart, home to Hibs, right?
Yep.
And then you've got
Four away. Four away, is it?
yep,
Four away.
away to Stuttgart, away to
Hmm.
Rangers, away
Yep.
to Aberdeen, away to Rangers.
Hmm.
And that, and as you know, I mean, even if you're being brutally honest, right, there's a big difference between Celtic playing at home and playing away
I
in
know.
terms of how the levels are.
But see, if we want to
And
win
having
things, we've got to take the hard
five
way,
out
I
of eight
suppose, haven't we?
games, aye. And by the way, I still think I look at Rangers' schedule, and as you know, we've only got 5 games in that schedule because obviously we don't have two in Europe or the rearranged game. But Rangers have got tough games in that fixtures. I mean,
Hmm.
you've got two against Celtic, you've got Hearts, you've got Motherwell, and you've got Livingston away, which Livingston away should be okay, but as you know, that's always just like Kelly away.
Hmm.
It's a tricky one, isn't it, on the plastic
Aye.
pitch?
And I'm looking
And
at the two. I'm looking at the two against your mob, and I'm going like that. What one of the ones would I rather win? I'd rather win both of them.
well, you'd rather
But
win the league one.
if truth be told, if push came to shove, I'd rather beat us in the league to give us a better chance of
I,
winning the league.
the only there's only one that I would sacrifice would be the cup because
I want to win the league.
I think we're banging this. You know, we're right in this title race, and I think it's
But I
been a
think if
while
we
since
can
I
beat
could
you
say
at
that.
Ibrox in the league, then it kind of derails you a bit.
I mean, it's all ifs and buts on it. I
And
mean,
then
it
we've got the
depends
game in
who
hand. If we
turns up.
beat, especially if we beat Aberdeen as well in the game in hand as well. But
As I said, I think
it's worse than buts.
By next Monday, we're going to have a right clear picture because Hearts have to play Hibs and Rangers.
Hibs.
If they pick up 6 points in that, right? If they go and beat
Mm-hmm.
Hibs and Rangers, Hearts are massive favourites, right?
Aye.
But alternatively, if they go and pick up 1 point,
You still get Motherwell as well, won't you, this
and
week?
we've got away to Motherwell and Hearts, and then like
Mm-hmm.
if Rangers pick up 2 points out of that, then you say that's not good. But if they go and pick up 6 points, then you're going, oh, Rangers could be
Is it
favourites.
is the Rangers Hearts game
Uh,
at Tynecastle?
Ibrox.
Or is it Ibrox? I think.
Aye, because we'll need, because as I said
Oh,
before,
well then,
Rangers need to go. We need to go to Tynecastle and Celtic Park after the split,
after
which
the
is
split.
going to be tough.
Mm-hmm.
I've said it to you before, and I'll say it again. If Rangers are going to win the league, we need to be at least 3 points clear going into the
Going
split
into the split.
because our fixtures after the split are just not as kind as
We
yours. I
probably
know
need
it's
to
the
be the
same
same.
teams.
I'd say we'd need to be the same or no. We need to be 3 points, at
I,
least three
I
clear.
think you no, I think you need to be if you are level, use are favourites. I
You think
believe
so?
that. I think if you
Right.
can match us all the way there, say it's a draw at Ibrox, right?
Mm-hmm.
And use if when we get the same results in other games, use would be massive favourites
It's about
because
time we beat you in the
of
league, though. We've not beat you for a while, so we
we,
need to do it.
we haven't beat us in 90 minutes for
I know, since 2024
well,
September 2024. Right?
and by the way, that might play on some of the players because some of the new ones won't care, and just like some of the new Rangers ones won't care that Rangers haven't won a title or certainly haven't won one in front of fans
Mm-hmm.
in decades. So it's like these players don't have any fear because they're new, and sometimes that's a good thing. Like
Yeah.
all I'm saying is, if you'd had flung on Kenny right in that game against Dundee, I don't think you win it. Not because I don't think Kenny could score that type of
Oh,
goal,
well,
but because Adamu comes on with no fear, and that's a
that's right.
player who has no fear trying be flicks.
But he's not getting
And
any previous. You're right. He's not
I
getting any previous with
and I looked
Celtic
at
either. So
Nadiri yesterday. I know it's his 2 games have been Kilmarnock and Queens Park at Ibrox, and they're as easy as it gets to make your debut, right? But he's playing like a guy that doesn't know there's a difference between Kelly or Queens Park, and he might not know that a Motherwell away is a tough game. He might just go, don't know, it's an away game. Let's just do it. I'm sure
hmm
Celtic will be different, but what I'm saying is sometimes it is good to have people in your team who aren't scarred,
yeah,
shall
yeah,
we say,
yeah.
of by title races. But honestly, I know you don't like it as much as I do, but I think this is shaping up to be a bit of a classic ending. I really do.
Don't like it at
Because
all. Don't like
all I'm
it.
going to say is, looking at Rangers right now, apart see after Motherwell, right? I look at our run right until the split,
hmm
and I'm not maybe use right, but apart from the Old Firm game, I don't see a team beating us.
Mm,
And I'm just saying that. But by the way, after the split,
don't know.
we could easily go to Tynecastle and Celtic Park and lose. I'm not being big-headed. I just look at it and go, if we can get through Motherwell, Hearts, and Celtic in these next 4 games, then I think we're. That's what I'm saying. It just. But by the way, you still need to go to St Mirren and go to Falkirk,
hmm
and you still need to beat Aberdeen at home. You still need to beat Dundee United away, and just like you do, you need to go to Killie and win. You still need to
Ah,
go to Dundee United where you got beat earlier.
and I still
It's,
say that if we hadn't fucked up earlier in the season, there
I
wouldn't be a
know, but
title race.
they would though because you aren't that
No, there
good.
wouldn't. No, there
You
wouldn't
aren't
be.
a good
If
team though.
if we hadn't fucked up by
Yeah, but
pissing Brendan Rodgers off and basically getting the season sabotaged by bringing in
yeah,
somebody
but
like Wilfred Nancy, that's what's
you can
fucked the
say that,
season.
right? But you
That's
can't
what I'm going to
honestly.
blame it on. If we don't win the league this season, I'm blaming it on the month that Wilfred Nancy was there. That's it.
Wait, I'd blame it on the whole mentality of the club who don't want
Well,
to move
I'm
forward.
not blaming Wilfred Nancy for it. I'm blaming the
And
people
also,
that
you
brought him
need to
in.
remember that Rangers have improved, not much, but they've improved and they look a far better
Ah,
outfit.
but
If Rangers had,
I know that
what
Rangers have got
if
better,
Rangers had a,
but we've
aye,
we've regressed. And if we hadn't
yeah, but that
regressed,
happens. That happens
this
in
wouldn't
football.
happen. This wouldn't be happening.
I don't know. I genuinely think, see, if we had appointed Daniel in the summer, the title could be over. I believe that because
But so
the
you're
change.
discounting Hearts then? You don't think Hearts are going to do what they've done?
No, they still done what they done. But if you take away the two Rangers games, if we had a competent manager in charge, I mean, Daniel was in charge for one of them, but honestly, I think if he had got his own players in the summer, is what I'm saying,
Hmm?
you can see a big difference between having an idiot that's scouting department in charge who thinks that these players can just walk up from England and all of a sudden be the best players in the league. There's a reason Joe Rothwell's on my telly right now for Sheffield United because he's no a Billy Big Buzz, right? There's levels and there's levels in mentality, and Rangers went in the market in the summer. That's the reason why
They're
I
getting
think we've
beaten
got
on
a
to
title race.
Sheffield United.
That's the
Aye.
reason why I think there's a title race is because Rangers recruitment in the summer was so bad that we gave everyone in the league
So
a
was yours,
10-point head start.
and the
Yeah,
thing about it is, see your
I,
recruitment,
I
see if it'd
agree.
been better in the summer, I don't think Brendan Rodgers leaves.
I know,
Brendan
but
Rodgers would still be there.
I just don't think you can say that it's because you got in Nancy that there's a title race. There was
No,
always going to be a title race
no, but
because
I
Hearts have
think we
improved,
fucked it up
Rangers have
because
improved.
we regressed. We've went back the way.
That
We went
happens
back
though.
the way.
That always happens. I mean, look at Rangers during 10 in a row. If Rangers after 9 in a row had brought through the likes of Barry Ferguson that year earlier and changed it up, there's no way
You,
that Wim
you can
Janssen
see
team
where I'm
wins the
coming
league.
from, though, in terms of
But
like your start to the season that you had. If we
yeah,
had been more competent and more savvy, we could have
yeah,
been out of sight by now.
you could. But that's why I think my point that if Rangers is the Danny Rowe the whole season, we would be in a far better place. We
Well, I
gave the
know,
league
but
a 10-point head start,
so why did you not go for
and
Danny
some
Rowell at the beginning of the season then?
because every owner and every board are allowed to make bad decisions, and Rangers made plenty of them, and that's just football. But what you need to do is you need to make a bad decision and learn from it.
But then if he wins the league as well, there'll be teams watching him and they'll go, right, we're going to take him away because he's done something that the other manager can do for years and win the league. So it's the same with
Yeah,
Gerrard
and
when he won the league.
but I'd like to think that if Hearts win the league, then Derek McInnes will be getting looked at
Oh, he will be.
down
He'll be
south.
off scare on. But
Um,
then he'll go back doing there and do nothing because he was not
I
doing there
don't know.
before.
I think it's about the right team though, because that Bristol team weren't very good, But if he went to I'm just going to go with something like a
Still,
Middlesbrough,
still don't
who
think he's that
maybe
good a manager.
I think he's a good manager if he gets time and he gets. It's all
I mean,
about style, though. I
he
mean,
never done any. His best chance of winning the league before was with Aberdeen when Rangers won in the league and it was just us and he couldn't do it.
I know, but at the same time, he still had a budget that was 10 times less
And
than yours.
I still think we were rotten, even under
I
Ronnie
know
Tyler. We were
he's
rotten.
were, but your budget was still 10 times more than Aberdeen's.
I know.
It's a bit like saying,
But our budget's still 10 times bigger than Hearts and we can't
yeah,
lay a
nah,
glove on them.
so is yours. Yours
I
is
know.
at least.
So it's,
But then our budget was like 1,000 times some of the
I
teams
still
when we were coming through the leagues, and we
I
still
still
didn't
think
look great.
I still
But
think that this is a one-off for Hearts. This will not happen next season. They won't do it again.
I think the recruitment will continue. I do.
But I
I
don't
think
think they'll be
they're
as lucky. Like you cannot. I mean, fair
I
enough. They
can't
can't.
put it this
I'm
way.
not
I'm not
saying
going to
that.
say lucky. No,
I'm not
no.
saying it's down to luck all the time. But I don't think their signings will be hits every time they make a signing from now on. Like if they
Near
sell
that,
the
but
boys they've got the new, you
they're
can't
probably
always have
not
that.
going to. They're probably not going to get an occasion where Rangers and Celtic are
Celtic are as
both
bad.
as bad. You might
Exactly.
get one. You will. I mean,
Aye.
you'll definitely get one as bad
Aye.
again. That
Mhm.
happens.
Aye. But no,
But
the
you're
two of
never
them.
going to get both. Where I
No.
mean, this is the first season in history that we've both sacked a manager mid-season.
That's right.
That's
That's right.
never happened. I
Mhm.
think it's happened at the end of a season
And I
once.
think this is the first time I've experienced, well, maybe since the 90s anyway, that somebody at this point in the season has been second in top of the league rather than Celtic and Rangers.
Well, no, I mean,
Because
aye, in
was
the
it no
nineties,
Aberdeen?
aye,
Aberdeen
aye,
were maybe top for a while.
but
They didn't win the league,
you know,
obviously, but they were top of the league for a
yeah.
while.
But if we move on to obviously the fixtures this week, there's 6 great games. I think we'll start with the non-big three, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
Right, Kilmarnock St Mirren. I think that's a tricky one because I seen signs from Kilmarnock that they're a good team against Aberdeen, and I thought obviously they got a red card at Ibrox, so I'm not even gonna count that, right? Because but then I've also seen St Mirren show
Mm-hmm.
signs of progress as well. And I don't really know where my head is with this one. I'm kind of going to go with a draw just because I still don't think St Mirren have got enough goals in them.
Right.
And I think Kilmarnock are playing well enough that they do have a goal in them. And I'm going to go one each just on that basis that I don't think St Mirren are a free-flowing side. I don't think Kilmarnock are that good. And I also think a point each. If Livingston lose at Parkhead, it just takes them both a point away from Livingston.
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not saying they'll settle for that, but I'm sure you can see what I mean. That
I tend to agree with you. I think
yeah,
it's a possibility to be a draw. I'd say I'd also
just
go
because
with
it
one
is
each as
down at
well.
Kilmarnock.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Aye.
Falkirk Dundee. I'm going to take the Bairns. I really am. Even though
Aye.
Dundee were great at Celtic Park,
But
I'm
the
going to
extra
take
time and all
Falkirk.
that, the exertions of
Aye,
that.
but then Falkirk had extra time Sunday night,
I saw they did. That's right.
but it was against a
That's right.
part-time team
Aye, well.
potentially.
Hmm.
I'm going to go. I'm going to go 2-1 Falkirk, but I think it'll be close.
I'll
So I
go
don't think
3-1
Dundee lose a
Falkirk.
lot of goals.
I'll go
This
3-1.
one, I don't even know if it'll happen. Will Dundee United and Aberdeen go ahead? Because I don't know how the rain
Where is
is.
it taking place? Is it in Dundee?
Both of them got their games postponed at the weekend, didn't they?
Did they?
So,
Aye. I
so
know Aberdeen
but I'm
did,
sure
fair
it'll be
enough, but
back. I'm sure. I don't think the weather's as bad,
you
but
can't keep. I mean, if that's the case, some questions have to be asked about Aberdeen. You know
yeah,
what I mean? You can't.
I don't know with this one. Because we know that both these sides are a bit Jekyll and Hyde. I don't know. Do you know? I'm going to go 0-0 just because I don't know what will turn up, and I do think that. Yeah, I don't think either of them are that good, if I'm honest.
I think Dundee United will shade it 2-1.
Yeah. This is probably the most straightforward of the big three games. Celtic Livingston, I think it'll be a quite comfortable 3-0.
3-0.
Yeah, I was going to go higher, but I do think that Bartley will have that team fairly well organised for about an hour, and I think it's about what Celtic can do in the last half hour.
Mm-hmm.
If you
Well, I
get what I
think
mean, I think
aye.
you will be 1-0 up, but it's can you push 2, 3, 4, 5?
Uh-huh. Hmm.
And I don't know that I don't know because I don't know how ruthless Celtic are.
Well, I'm hoping they're
I've
going to be
certainly not
ruthless.
I've certainly not seen enough
I'll
of that.
go. I'll go 4-0
So I'm,
Celtic.
I'm
I
going to
want
say
them to.
three. Just
I want them to try and get a high score.
yep. This one, I'm only going with this score right because the Hearts Hibs. I'm going one each right, and I'm only going this way because Edinburgh derbies tend to be draws, right? And
Hmm.
this season we've had a 1-0 and a 3-2, right? But I think was it one of the seasons? I think did all four of them not finish a draw? And I think the fact that this is the third one, we've not had a draw yet,
Yep.
but we very well could have had a draw. I mean,
Hmm.
Hearts scored in
Aye.
what the last minute of the first game,
That's right.
and Shanklin missed a sitter in the last minute of
Right,
the last
the
one, and it
last
could have
game.
been three each. So
Hmm.
I think it's just due a draw, and
Yep.
I'm going to go. I'm going to go two each, just because I do think there's goals in it, though.
There's goals in it. I'll go one each. I'll go with your
Yeah,
first your prediction you were
yeah,
going to go. I think it will be a draw. I think because we're due a draw in
yeah,
that game. I'm hoping that Hearts
yeah.
get beat, but I'll
I,
go for a
I,
draw.
I think at Tynecastle, I think they're always pretty strong.
Aye, they will
But
be.
no result would surprise me. It wouldn't
I
surprise
know.
me if Hibs won. It
Aye,
wouldn't
me
surprise
too.
me if Hearts won. Um,
Hmm.
Motherwell Rangers, this is again a tricky one because I think the fact that Motherwell have had two games postponed in a row, I
Aye,
don't know if that goes for them or against them. Because
right.
as you know, sometimes when you get that sort of like, you kind of just want to keep playing. And if you have a week's break, you might lose that wee bit of sharpness. But I read somewhere on the stat that Motherwell haven't lost a goal at home since October,
Right. Okay.
which shows you how
Hmm.
strong they are.
Okay.
Um, so I don't think there's
Hmm.
going to be a lot of goals in this one,
Right.
and I'm going to predict a very, very, very narrow 1-0 win to Rangers, and I actually think it might even be the usual Rangers set piece. And the reason I'm saying that is because I looked at Motherwell's team, right, and they're not that big,
Hmm.
right, across the board. They're very good on the ball. They're very fast. They're going to cause Rangers problems all night. I know that, but I looked at the set pieces and I thought, Stephen O'Donnell's about their tallest player. And I was
Hmm.
looking at, look at that Rangers, like everyone we signed seems to be over 6 foot. And if you look at Fernandez being back, if you've got Fernandez, Suter, Nadiri, um, I just think
Yeah.
I think Rangers might be just too big for them. Not too good because I'm going to be totally honest here. I don't think we're a better team than Motherwell in terms
Well,
of football.
if
But
if Motherwell turn up,
I do think
then
we're just bigger and stronger.
I think
And a
if
bit
Motherwell
like
turn up and play
uh,
well, they could get a draw at it. But
they could, they
I,
absolutely
I,
could. But
I'm
mm,
expecting Rangers to win, but I wouldn't be surprised if Motherwell can nick a draw.
yeah, I'm just going to go just only on that basis that I think we're bigger and stronger. That Rangers will find a way to get a wee sort of cheeky set piece, and
Okay.
I'm going to go 1-0. But I
All
know
right.
that doesn't seem like the most glamorous game. But I remember Rangers under Danny Rule right at the start went to Easter Road and won 1-0, and
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't pretty, but it was pretty effective. And you've seen Celtic do similar things at St Mirren and Dundee under Martin O'Neill.
Aye.
You just need to. I just think, but I mean, don't get me wrong. I will predict Rangers to draw games and potentially lose games, but I just think this one, Motherwell's lack of fluency, not playing
Mm-hmm.
2 games, I think will harm how good they are,
Right.
and
Fair enough.
I think that will actually go against them, and it'll
Mm.
be quite a sticky, horrible game, and
Mm.
yeah, it'll be a set piece.
All right.
But yeah, I think we can obviously leave it there. But um, yeah, I think it's going to be a very interesting 2 rounds of fixtures because
Aye.
the one at the weekend as
We
well. I mean, you need to go to
Chelsea.
Rugby Park
Mm.
on Sunday, and then that's quickly followed by Rangers Hearts at Ibrox. So,
That'll be that'll be a mammoth
and by
couple
the
of
way,
weeks.
at least this Sunday we're going to get treated like the main event on Sky because it's the FA Cup in it this weekend.
Aye.
So
Mm-hmm.
there's proper billing it like it's a Super Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
and the Celtic's the starter and the Rangers Hearts is the main event. Understandably, because it's obviously Rangers Hearts because it's
Mm-hmm.
it'd be the same if it was Celtic Hearts. Do you know what I mean? That Rangers
Aye.
would be the
Of
starter,
course.
but I think it's nice to get that full billing, and apparently they're visiting the 4 teams on Friday. It's nice to see them getting the proper treatment.
Right.
Because I'm
Aye.
sick of
That's
watching
for
Sky
once.
Sports News and it's all about championship teams and a lot of
Mm-hmm.
drivel.
Yeah.
But it's still drivel, but at least it'll be our
Aye.
drivel. But
Aye.
but no, we'll leave it there. But
Okay.
yep, I think we've got interesting weeks ahead of us.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Cool.
We'll see what happens,
Right,
and I'm
leave
sure
it
we'll
there.
enjoy it. Right.
Right,
Thanks again,
enjoy.
mate.
Bye.
Right.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye bye. Bye.